Alright YouTube, it's Wednesday, new comic book day, so you know what today is about? About the brand new comic book unboxing. This week I got my comic books from Midtown Comics at midtowncomics.com. They ship nationwide and they have great prices on the individual books. The shipping can get a little bit expensive, but you're going to see the safety and security stuff will be sent with. That's why I actually opened the box on screen, so that you don't have to wonder what your package is going to look like when it shows up. So there we have the box. Everything comes wrapped in bubble wrap. Got our information on the package right here. And then under the bubble wrap we have the Midtown Comics bag with the logo on it. And inside that is where we get to the gold, the good stuff. The brand new comic books, all individually bagged and boarded. Just a little housekeeping note on this unboxing. There are going to be some books that you see me skip because I am no longer supporting a certain company over things I don't want to get into on this channel. I want to keep it all positive. And so I will not be doing referrals or recommendations from said company, with one exception today. So that being said, let's get into the fun stuff, the unboxings, and we'll see what we have going on today, starting with Image Comics Bloodletter number 4. I really enjoyed this series, and the fun thing about it is the protagonist, her antagonist, is actually the hero of the whole Spawn universe, Spawn, and we get to see through flashbacks how that happened, how Bloodletter became who she is, and it's just another interesting look into the Spawn universe, which I enjoy everything they're putting out right now, so I am all for it. Next we have another from Image Comics, Dark Honor number 5. Now this I am not happy about here. We got a crease in the cover and it was packaged that way. Yeah, that's a rare first. It's not damaged, but you don't want your books to come like that. But this is a fun series. This is number 5. I think it may be the last issue. But it's a New York Mafia story set during the time of COVID, where COVID actually, in a clever way, is almost another antagonist, and the thing that gets the ball rolling on this particular mob war. And so we have that dynamic. Next we have also from Image Comics, Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger number 9. This is the origin story of Gunslinger Spawn, how he became a Spawn, and his life in the Old West and said adventures. It is so much fun. It is the Spawn universe, but again from a different angle, with the dusty, rustic aesthetic and storytelling of a Western. Very fun book. If you enjoy the Scorched, if you enjoy Gunslinger Spawn, I guarantee you will enjoy Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn from Image Comics. And then next we have from, guess who, Image Comics. Yes, I do have a favorite comic book company right now. It varies. Back when I first started collecting, it was Dynamite Comics. And then I really got into DC and Marvel for a while, but then since, I would say, late 2024, I really enjoyed a lot of the output from Image Comics, whereas before I read Spawn and a couple other titles from them, but they're just putting out so much stuff that hits me right in my taste of storytelling. And like I always say, tastes are subjective, and so I if I don't like something, I'm not gonna trash it because somebody else will. But I really enjoy Exquisite Corpses. It's a story about this secret group of 13 families that secretly run society, and they set up a battle royal where they sick this. Each one sets a serial killer loose in this one town, and whoever survives and kills the most wins for their family, and that family gets control. So, very interesting book, very enjoyable despite the dark subject matter. And then, next we have from Image Skybound Comics, we have G.I. Joe, number 11. This is not the main run of G.I. Joe Real American Hero that has been going since 1984. This is a separate title running concurrently with that is set in the Energon universe, which includes Void Rivals and Transformers, as well as G.I. Joe with all new stories and all new alignments. For instance, Baroness is with the G.I. Joes. And to be quite honest with you, I was expecting some kind of dissension or turn in issue 1, but so far, she is all aboard. And then next we have, let's see, what is this? Ah, yes, from Image Top Cow. This is Witchblade number 14. I just read number 13 the other night. Really enjoyed this. And, yeah, I had a very cool experience. A buddy of mine was wanting to get rid of some books that were just cluttering up his life. And so he brought me by 2 long boxes and a couple of bags of comics. And in there are the first 5 issues of the original Witchblade, which is very cool for me because I got the facsimile of issue number 1 a few weeks ago and really enjoyed it. And I thought to myself, man, I am never going to get that number 1, that actual first print. And it showed up literally at my front door. And so I'm excited to see what happens after that first issue, as well as I'm really enjoying this new issue. If you're new to the Witchblade story or lore, this run was a complete reset where you get to know Sarah Bazzini and all the other characters from day 1. And it's slightly different, less wordy than the original, and it's not so much, it's less reliant on tawdry art and more reliant on more of a grizzled, kind of rough story. I'm taking too long, so I can't think of the word I'm looking for. But something a little bit edgier as opposed to sensual with the art style and the storytelling style, which I appreciate. And then next we have a crossover book between Marvel and DC, the Deadpool Batman crossover. Very interested to see what's going on with that. And yeah, it's a rare thing to get these crossovers. So get it while you can. And then we have coming up to the end, and a book that I am the most excited about here, coming up after this one. But what do we got here? We got Vampirella Armageddon number 3, with the cover, cosplay cover by Faces by Rachie, otherwise known as Rachel Holland. A terrific cosplay artist. She's done covers for, I own covers of her from Jennifer Blood, Red Sonja, I think maybe a Dacia Thor's cover or 2. But definitely a lot of Vampirella covers. I actually have one cover sitting on my wall of fame across from me of hers. And she also does DC stuff. She does a very good Harley Quinn. And so I had to get that covered. I'm really enjoying this Armageddon number 3. It takes off from, let me see if I can get this chronology right. Yes. So this takes off from Vampirella Strikes. Yeah, which took off from Vengeance of Vampirella. Vengeance of Vampirella was the run from around 2020, 2019 or so. That's when I first started reading comic books. And that was about a world going in turmoil, about Nyx, who led a takeover of Earth by the monsters and seek to weed out humanity. And Vampirella was kind of leading the charge for humanity. And Vampirella Strikes was the aftermath of that, and trying to make this new society work while you have other nefarious actors in the background. And this continues from the latest Vampirella Strikes series, not the main Vampirella run that is currently being written by Christopher Priest. Okay, so I got my chronology right in that. I read so many books, it's really hard for me to keep track of the order and the storylines, but I manage somehow. And then, like I said, the book I've been looking forward to the most, the book that got me into one of my favorite comic book universes, and that is Blade Runner. And this is Blade Runner Black Lotus in Las Vegas. I have yet, even to this day, to see a Blade Runner movie at all. I got introduced to the series via the Cartoon Network anime a couple years ago, Blade Runner Black Lotus, which featured this character, M, who was a replicant secretly designed to be an assassin by Leander Tyrell of the Tyrell Corporation to take over the company, but she escaped. There we go. And so that was the first series of the anime, and then they continued the story in Blade Runner Black Lotus, the comic book from Titan Comics, which I actually recorded a review, and I think I have it being posted here in the next day or two. But that takes off from her escape from Los Angeles through to the desert and to this commune type environment that was being threatened by a nearby mining town and its boss. And this takes place right after that. And so I'm really looking forward to it. And the Blade Runner comic universe is very extensive. We have books from Blade Runner 2019, Blade Runner 2049, Blade Runner Origins, Blade Runner Tokyo, Blade Runner Black Lotus, Blade Runner Black Lotus, Las Vegas, amongst many other great titles that you can get in trade paperback right now. So go check them out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I actually, while I like to reread comics, and I will kind of grab from my storage what tickles my fancy at that moment, I read the Blade Runner books weekly. Every Saturday, I will pull out a Blade Runner or two and just dip into that world. Even with the books I've already read, I reread certain Blade Runner series at least 5 times. And so that's what I got for this new comic book day. Let me know in the comments what you guys got, what you think. What is your favorite Blade Runner series? Should I check out the movies? What movies should I start with? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe and help me build this channel, because I'm all about comic book love and trying to spread positivity. I got into collecting comic books and action figures after I became physically disabled, and it was a wonderful escape for me. It gave me something to do on my worst of days and something to focus on other than pain. And so I just want to share that with you guys, and to share the joy that this stuff brings me with you guys, in hopes that maybe you can find some relief from this hobby as well. So stay tuned for my Blade Runner Tokyo or my Blade Runner Black Lotus review. And then what else is coming up? Every Tuesday I do videos previewing what's coming up the next day, so you know what to be out on the look for for new comic book day. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading books. I'm out.